Thought I'd wear a collared shirt today. Feels wrong.
Ginger Runner.
What is up, everybody? Ethan Newberry, the Ginger Runner, here for another gingerrunner.com review. Today should be a fun one. It's a shoe that I didn't expect big things from, but I'm pleasantly surprised by my experiences in it, all the way from Brooks. It is the Brooks Caldera, like a volcano. Definition of caldera. A caldera is a large cauldron-like depression that forms following the evacuation of a magma chamber or reservoir. Alright. The Caldera was a surprise. It's a shoe that kind of flew under the radar for me. I didn't anticipate this shoe. It wasn't on my must pick up and review cycle. But man, I've been pleasantly surprised by this shoe. What I'm going to kind of consider a Cascadia light. For those of you who have run on the Cascadias, you will probably feel right at home, if not more so in this shoe, because it is a bit more comfortable. It's a bit wider. It accommodates all varying types of foot shapes. Whereas the Cascadia is heavy, it's built up, and it's pretty damn narrow. The Caldera kind of falls between the Pure Grit, the Mazama, and the Cascadia, which is a nice place to be because it has plenty of responsive yet a little slightly cushioned midsole material, a protective and built up upper. It's bomb proof, it's comfy, lots of protection above and below. Man, I've just got lots of things to say about the shoe, so I'm going to say it all in today's review. I'm going to tell you all the things that I like and dislike, starting with things that I like about the Brooks Caldera. Let's get on with this thing. First of all, protection. The shoe provides you plenty of it, both in the upper and in the midsole and outsole. A lot of shoes that have that extra protection feel overbuilt, feel super heavy. While this shoe does definitely tip the scales on the heavier end, not overtly so. The upper is built of multiple materials, a lot of welded overlays, but it provides you protection in the areas where you need it most, along the toe, along the interior medial side. Everything is built to withstand the punishment of the Pacific Northwest, where the shoe was designed and tested originally for Brooks. Great for rocks, roots, snags, sharp edges, really basically any serious trail abuse. And even the Biomogo DNA midsole material and the outsole materials provide you with enough protection from down below to keep your feet comfortable on long runs. Can definitely see this being a more comfortable version of the Cascadia for those of you who like to run in that in ultras. Responsive. The shoe has a midsole material that is cushioned, but yet it's plenty responsive for those of you who like to move faster and don't want your feet sagging into a too plush midsole material. I would almost say this is a more precise, concise version of the North Face Endurance TR, which I reviewed recently. It's definitely a more built-up shoe like that. I will say, it is almost Hoka-like in its responsive and yet cushioned feel. Not quite all the way there into that plush, suck your foot in, cushy, plush marshmallow goodness, but definitely plenty of comfort, but some good spring to keep you on your toes and moving forward fast. Stable. What I like about the shoe over the Cascadia, its heavier, older brethren, is the lateral stability with the shoe. The midsole is a bit wider, the outsole is wider, the upper is wider, more roomy. There's more volume to accommodate varying foot shapes. If you're looking for a super wide shoe, it's not necessarily going to be the fit for you, but it does fit my foot nicely. I never really noticed that the shoe felt too narrow, and as you break the shoe in, it opens up a little bit. I wish it opened up a bit more, but I've been really happy with this so far. And finally, I'll throw it out there as I like the looks. I really like the red, the black, and this baby blue. When I first pulled them out of the box, I was like, oh, you know what? This is a pretty damn good looking trail shoe. It's bold, but yet refined and aggressive. Colorful, playful, and I stand by that remark. Even after miles and miles of trail wear, it's super dirty, but I still like the looks of this thing. I could be crazy. I'm crazy. It's not all whispers and churros. There are a couple of dislikes about this shoe. They're not huge, but they're definitely weighing on me a bit. Let's get on with the things I dislike. Starting with stiffness. Yes, it is a responsive shoe. The midsole holds up really well, but the shoe is very stiff, which is something that I had an issue with the Cascadia, which I've worn a couple of times on varying runs. The last in the shoe is meant for real rugged trails, so you're not going to get a lot of foot shaping, ground absorbing, foldable shoe here. It is definitely stiff in all directions. That is a plus in some regards. A lot of people might really like that. I, however, enjoy a shoe that can kind of conform, adapt, and continue to provide multiple protection throughout your run. I don't want to fight the shoe. I want the shoe to work with me. And even after putting dozens and dozens of miles in the shoe, it has not let up. Hot. The shoe runs super hot, especially here in Southern California. The upper is multi-layered, so you're not just getting a mesh that's single layer, it's multiple layer, plus the welded overlays just add for a hot upper shoe. Everything feels super dense, super thick. There's not a lot of give in it at all. It will absorb your sweat very well, dissipate it okay, but for the most part your feet will get hot, especially if you live in hotter, warmer climates. Maybe a great wintertime shoe, not so great spring or summertime shoe. And finally, the break-in. I've mentioned it multiple times during the course of this review. The shoe, even now, close to 60 or 70 miles, hasn't fully broken in, unless it has, in which case it's just super stiff and won't continue to adapt to my foot or stretch out or really truly break in. Everything's still super stiff, non-moldable, non-pliable, so my feet will just have to continue to kind of fight this shoe in some regards. Not a huge issue. The shoe is still comfortable and fun, and I am really liking it. And that's actually pretty much it for dislikes. Overall, I'm on the pleasant side of happiness in this shoe. I've actually found myself reaching for this shoe more than a lot of other trail shoes that I have. Protective upper, protective midsole, nice and aggressive and protective outsole. Brooks Caldera is a fun trail shoe you should highly consider. I am going to get to the points, and let's do that now. Talking about quality, 4 out of 5. I have been super pleased with the shoe. The quality is outstanding. I haven't had any seams break or any real quality wear down whatsoever. Weakest point will be the outsole. That definitely breaks down probably before any of the other parts of the shoe will. Comfort, also 4 out of 5. I like the midsole material. The Biomogo I've talked about in other reviews from Brooks, and it is a good midsole material. It's nice and responsive, but yet cushioned at times. In this case, it definitely is in that middle ground, but leaning more towards the responsive end. So overall comfort has been pretty decent, especially for longer runs, 4 out of 5. Price at $140, I think that's probably one of the weakest points. I still think you get a lot of shoe for your dollar, so it does make a good bang for the buck. I'm going to give it 4 out of 5, though it is borderline 3 out of 5, purely based off of price. And finally, looks, like I said, I actually included it in my likes. I like the looks of this shoe. I'm going to give it 4 out of 5, borderline 5 out of 5, but only because the other color version, which is the dark gray black, isn't the most appealing. If they had a couple other color versions, then it would be a full 5 out of 5, 4 out of 5. That's all you guys really need to know. Bringing our grand total to a solid 16 out of 20. You guys love those. Dovetailing right on into our buy, try, or why. Solid try, borderline buy. If you guys get a chance to get this shoe on your foot, I would highly recommend it. Remember that the shoe will break in a little bit. It'll become a little bit more comfortable, a little bit more accommodating in the upper, but it is still a bigger, more built-up shoe. Give you plenty of protection. So for those of you who might be looking for something like that, it's definitely a shoe to consider. And that, my friends, is it for my review of the Brooks Caldera. If you have tried this shoe, what do you guys think of it? Let me know in the comments below of this video. Let's get the discussion going. And of course, if you want more information or you want to get a pair for yourself, there's a link in the description to Running Warehouse, as well as a coupon code to get 10% off of everything in their store. So yeah, that's it for today's review. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you like, favorite, and subscribe to the channel, youtube.com/thegingerrunner. New videos twice a week. You won't want to miss any of those. Social media links right over here. And of course, if you want to help keep the channel alive and get some cool perks on the back end, Patreon. Patreon.com/thegingerrunner. It's a lot of fun. Join it. Join us. And now marks the end of the video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Get out there, guys. Train hard, race harder, and party the hardest. I know I am. We'll see you next week for more videos. Subscribe. Bye.